Have you ever wondered about the different types of housing in the Philippines? Are you curious about what options are available either for a short vacation, a long-term stay, or even a permanent move? From short-term rentals to luxurious serviced complexes, the Filipino housing market offers a plethora of choices to meet every need and preference. Intrigued? Well, today we're diving into the fascinating world of Filipino housing. Let's embark on this journey together and uncover the various housing options that the Philippines has to offer. First up, let's talk about short-term rentals. Imagine you're planning a short stay in the Philippines, perhaps for a couple of weeks or months. Short-term rentals are perfect for such a scenario. The cost for these types of rentals is generally higher than long-term rentals, because they often include utilities and are frequently furnished. The price can range from a few thousand for a room in a flat to tens of thousands of Philippine pesos for a separate apartment per month, depending on the location and comfort level. The beauty of short-term rentals is that a security deposit is often not required or is minimal. Payment is usually upfront for the entire rental period or on a monthly basis. So if you're planning a brief stay, short-term rentals might be the ideal choice. Now, let's move on to long-term rentals. This housing option is perfect if you're planning to stay in the Philippines for a year or more. The cost of long-term rentals can vary greatly depending on the location and type of accommodation. It could range from 10,000 to 50,000 Philippine pesos per month, or even more. Usually, a deposit equivalent to 1 or 2 months' rent is required. Payment is often demanded for the first and last month up front. You'll need to sign a lease agreement for the entire rental period, which typically includes payment for the first and last months, as well as the deposit. For instance, if you're planning to relocate to the Philippines permanently, you can find an apartment in a residential area of Manila for about 20,000 pesos per month. If you prefer to live in the city center, you might have to shell out 30 to 40,000 pesos per month. So, for those planning a long stay, long-term rentals could be your best bet. Next on our list are room rentals in shared apartments. This option is quite similar to short-term rentals, but here you're only renting a single room in an apartment or house. The cost for room rentals is typically more affordable, starting from a few thousand Philippine pesos per month. The security deposit can vary, but it's usually equivalent to 1 month's rent. Payments are often made monthly, sometimes with an upfront payment. Let's say you want to save on accommodation, but don't want to stay in a hostel or guest house. You could rent a room in an apartment shared with other tenants for a few thousand pesos per month. The cost for a private room with all amenities will be higher, starting from 10,000 pesos. Room rentals in shared apartments can be a great budget-friendly option. Moving on, let's talk about rentals in service complexes. These types of rentals are perfect for those of you who fancy a comfortable living situation with access to various services. Imagine having a swimming pool, a fitness center, and security services right at your doorstep. But of course, such luxury comes at a price. The cost for these kinds of rentals is typically higher than conventional rentals. You could be looking at somewhere between 60,000 to a hefty 100,000 Filipino pesos per month. As with most rentals, a deposit is usually required, the amount of which depends on the policy of the complex. Payment methods can vary, but a monthly payment setup is quite common. So if comfort and convenience are high on your list of priorities, and you don't mind paying a little extra for those amenities, rentals in service complexes could be a good fit for you. Finally, we have rentals through online booking platforms. This option is similar to short-term rentals, but here you book your accommodation through an online platform such as Airbnb or Booking.com. The cost of rentals through online booking platforms can be comparable to short-term rentals, depending on the location and comfort level of the property. The deposit varies and is dependent on the homeowner's policies on the platform. Payment is usually made upfront through the platform. For example, let's say you want to book accommodation in the Philippines for a few weeks or months. You could find an apartment or suite on Airbnb or Booking.com for around 15,000 to 20,000 Philippine pesos a month. So if you're planning a short stay and prefer to book online, these platforms could be the way to go. They offer a wide range of options and the convenience of booking from anywhere in the world. So, which type of housing is the best for you? Let's quickly recap what we've covered. If you're planning a short stay, short-term rentals are a great option, with costs slightly higher due to inclusive utilities and often furniture. For longer stays, consider long-term rentals, with costs varying depending on location and type of accommodation, and usually require a deposit equal to 1 to 2 months' rent. If you're looking to save on accommodation, renting a room in a shared apartment could be your best bet. These are generally more affordable, and payment is often monthly. For those seeking comfort and amenities like a swimming pool or fitness center, service complexes offer this luxury, albeit at a higher cost. Online booking platforms like Airbnb or Booking.com offer an array of options suitable for both short and long stays, with costs comparable to short-term rentals. Payment is usually upfront and through the platform itself. In deciding which housing type best suits your needs, consider factors such as the length of your stay, your budget, and your preferred level of comfort. If you're staying for a few weeks or months, short-term rentals or online platform rentals might be ideal. For longer stays, long-term rentals or room rentals in shared apartments could work best. And if comfort and amenities are a priority, service complexes are worth considering. Remember, the best type of housing for you depends on your needs, preferences, and how long you plan to stay in the Philippines. Happy house hunting!